Hey everyone, it's June 18th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with mass murderer Tom Woolfolk, who killed 9 members of his own family in 1887, becoming known as Bloody Woolfolk. And that is him right up there. Woolfolk was born in 1860 in his father's farmhouse on a cotton plantation near Macon, Georgia, just before the start of the Civil War. Shortly after his birth, his mother died, and he was sent to live with his aunt, with whom he spent the first 7 years of his life. Woolfolk returned to his father's plantation when the man remarried and spent the remainder of his childhood with his father, stepmother, and his 6 siblings. He didn't get along with any of his new family members, and by his mid-20s he was showing signs of mental deterioration. Woolfolk managed to find a wife, but the marriage only lasted 3 weeks before she had had enough, saying, "He is not crazy. It is simple meanness. He is the meanest man I ever saw, and there's nothing too mean for him to do." She was soon proven right, because at 4 a.m. on August 6, 1887, Woolfolk snapped, killing 9 of his own family members in their shared home with an axe. The victims were his father, stepmother, their 6 children, and an elderly relative of his stepmother. All of the victims were struck in the back of the head with an axe, and the children ranged in age from 18 months to 20 years. They were all found in bed, except for 2 of the boys who were on their parents' floor, and one of the girls found near a window where she had been trying to escape. The beds, walls, and ceilings were covered in blood and brain tissue, with pools of blood collecting on the floor. Woolfolk ran to the neighbor's house to seek help, telling them that his entire family had been murdered by an intruder and that he was the only one able to escape. He returned to the house to check to see if the killer was still there, and went room to room to see if everyone was truly dead before washing up and throwing his blood-stained clothes down a well. Within hours, the entire town had come to the house to stare at the goings-on, and Woolfolk's story quickly unraveled. He had left bloody footprints around the house, he had blood in his ear canal, there was a bloody handprint on his leg, and there was no sign of forced entry, and he showed no emotion when telling the story of his entire family being killed in front of him. The local sheriff whisked him away to jail to prevent the crowd from lynching him on the spot. The crime made the front page of the New York Times and was called the bloodiest, blackest chapter in Georgia criminal history, and he was described as the greatest monster of the age, the cruelest and most bloodthirsty brute on record. After the most publicized trial in Georgia history, so far, I suspect another one may be coming soon that beats it, he was convicted and sentenced to hang for the murders, but the verdict was overturned due to the general attitude in the community about the crime, with members of the public shouting, "Hang him!" repeatedly during closing arguments. Woolfolk was given a second trial after a change of venue, and he was convicted a second time and sentenced to hang. It was carried out in 1890 in front of a crowd of 10,000 people, but the fall from the gallows didn't snap his neck, so Woolfolk spent 15 minutes choking at the end of a rope before finally succumbing to death. A book written in 2000 claims that Woolfolk was innocent and that the murders were in fact carried out by a former hired hand of the family who later went on to murder another family, but most historians disagree and will never know for sure. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Thomas Woolfolk I say, happy birthday, you bastard.